We booked a $5,400 cruise and ended up in a VIP suite most people never experience. And it basically cost us the same price. So here's how it all got started. We booked a Mediterranean cruise coming up on Norwegian Cruise Line, and we got a balcony room, which we always did. I'll explain that in a moment. And the price when we booked it back in July of 25 was $5,458. Now, most people, when they book it, you book at a price you feel good at, right?
Mhm.
You see the price online and you're like, that seems like a reasonable price. And you go ahead and you book it and you never look at it again. But unfortunately, that's where the opportunities actually start. And most people don't realize it. So that's what I want to explain is how we went through that. So when new promotions come out, we talked about this before, they don't always replace the old ones. The old ones just actually go into the background, but they're still there. People don't see it. So as we continue to watch it, a new promotion came out that allowed us to book it at a cheaper price. So we then booked it for 3507. So a
And
significant
there's the
discount.
advantage of a TripAdvisor. We have the time to do that
Right.
for
I mean,
you.
who's going to keep going back and looking?
Nobody.
On top of that, if you're looking at it on your own, you got to be able to catch each of those sales when it happens.
Mm.
There are 48-hour flash sales sometimes. There are sales that last multiple months, but there are others that come and go in a very quick moment. And if you're not prepared or you just happen to drop in, you miss it and it fades into the background. And when you're on the commercial site, the public site, all you really see is the one that's current, where we see all the ones in the background. So I caught it. And not only did we get a cheaper price, you'll remember, but we got the upgraded room, we got the club balcony cabin, and we got $140 onboard credit, which is always nice because it's free money. And if you don't know what onboard credit is, sometimes you'll see me talking about OBC, which means onboard
Mhm.
credit. And it just means anything you use while you're on the cruise. That can be anything from you went to another specialty dining place, maybe you bought something in one of the stores and you've purchased things from the stores and used OBC before. Or maybe you had a drink package and you went top shelf on a particular night. So you pay the difference. So if it's a $20 drink and your package limits you to 15, then you pay the 5. All that comes off OBC. So you'll see it go onto your account, but then you'll see it drop off. It's just a credit on the account. So $140 that we got there, plus the club balcony suite. And we've had club balcony before. And what we love about that is you get the free laundry service.
Yes.
And
It's important on a long
it
trip.
is because usually about mid-trip, right,
You
we'll
can only
send some
pack so
stuff.
much.
Well, not only I'm not sure that I pack or that we pack. Yeah, I'm like, okay, I'll say me any less. But what I like most about it is when you come home, you don't have this huge amount of work to do, right?
Yeah.
You just get to. And I don't mean you people don't misunderstand that. We actually do our and always have our own individual laundries for whatever reason. I just do my laundry. You do your laundry. So you come home and you've got all these dirty clothes packed in your suitcase. One of the things I love about packing cubes, of course, besides just making it more space convenient, is that I put the clean clothes into one particular cube. So when we come home, that cube comes out, goes
Mhm.
right back in the closet. So much nicer. Also, I don't know what they use on the little labels that identifies your clothes from everybody else's. I still, years later, have that little tag with the number on
It
it.
is the stickiest thing
They
I've
should use that in the space program. I don't know, because that stuff is amazing. Now, if you pull on it, you can get it to
yeah.
pull off, but it's probably been through, I don't know,
2
100
year 2
washes. Yeah,
years of laundry before I realized one got left on.
right. It's still there. So moving up is an advantage because it lets you get different value perks that you otherwise wouldn't get, and a lot of times people don't even pay attention. I don't know. For years, I saw those laundry bags in the room, and I never paid attention. There was a cost attached to them. That's why I
Mhm.
didn't pay attention to them. And one day, the very first time we ever got it, bag shows up and it says, "Hey, it's free. This bag is free. Everything you stuff in this bag is free." That was a mistake. Everything you stuff in the bag is free, and so we took advantage of it. And it was a great perk. So we moved up, we reduced our costs, win-win all the way, but we're not done because that's not it could end there, but we
Good. And
continue
it
to
would have been
watch.
great to end there,
It
but it doesn't.
it would have been good sometimes if you're happy with the price, right? To me, and I've always been this kind of shopper, I don't always I look for bargains, right? But I don't sweat the bargain always like, "Oh my gosh, is it cheaper? Is it cheaper?" If it's cheaper, then I want the better price. But if it doesn't fall, because maybe it's a booked out cruise, right? It was a popular like, maybe it's Sisters at Sea, and once that cruise gets filled, like, it's just not gonna be available. So, you gotta be happy with the price you book, but if it comes down, you want the advantage, right? So, we're happy when we booked it. We're happier now that we moved up, but we're gonna keep looking because what's the thing we don't do before you have to? Pay for the cruise in
Oh,
full,
right.
because that leaves us this advantage
Wait till the
until the 120-day mark. That way we can just keep repricing, re-upscaling or lowering our costs. And, we're happy, but we're not going to be satisfied, I guess, until that day comes. And then we just move on. But there's still more to come. So one of the reasons we book into a balcony on Norwegian is that they have their bidding program. Every cruise line has some upgrade bidding system, but you can usually only jump a few levels. So that's why we always book a balcony on NCL, is because that allows us to jump into Haven. Now, Haven and every cruise line has this VIP luxury category. They all call it something different. On NCL, it's Haven. We've been in multiple times, and there's just a lot to talk about on that, but we'll talk about it in a second. But if you bid into an interior, then you can't jump to Haven. So you've got to move in at least 2 or 3. I think they might have opened it up to 3 now, but 2 or 3 categories is the most you can jump. But if you can book an interior, which is always the least expensive cruise. And we've talked about it. I enjoyed the interior. You maybe not so much. We'll try the one with the virtual windows sometime. But another one of our advisors, Emily, just put an interior, and she recently booked up into a balcony using the bid system. And this is a piece of leverage that people don't always know exists. Look, you're not always going to get it right, because I'm going to talk about the process in a second. But again, it's about being happy with what you got, and maybe you can get more. So in our case, and this is always the way we've always done the bid system in Norwegian, and they're all kind of like this, that you get a little graphical page, usually has a meter.
It's a little dial.
Norwegian, it's a little dial. And so you bid your amount, and the dial moves to tell you what your possibilities of getting that room are. And we always bid the least, right? We always bid the minimum amount. The dial never moves. And so according to the dial, we have like little or no chance of getting one. But twice before we've gotten Haven doing this, and we never bid them more than the minimum.
One time we didn't get it. Just the
Sure.
one time.
Sure. And again,
But we were happy with our
and we
balcony.
had a club balcony that time.
Yeah, we were happy with our balcony.
That was Greece. And did we have an aft-facing balcony then?
I
can't remember. That's
it may have been
where we had the larger, because you kind of go around the back of the ship, you get a much bigger balcony. So we had a club balcony with an aft facing view. That was a great view, larger balcony. So it still worked out great. Okay. So here we are. We bid multiple versions of Haven. And the way they all do this is, like, one of them we bid was the owner suite. And then there's a double or something, and there's multiple categories of Haven rooms. And we bid on like 4 of them that we wanted. There was like 2 that we weren't interested in, but we did the minimum bid on 4, and they start at the top. And it's not an auction. Okay, let's really be clear about that. It's not an auction. You don't get to see what other people bid. You don't get to say, well, I want to make my maximum bid $500. But if no one bid more than $299,
you will not know if you bid 500 and someone bid 505. You will not know that you only lost by $5.
And more importantly,
and I think that's important, because that would just be depressing.
Well, sure. Well, that's just auctions in general, right? When you win.
But that's what I'm saying. It's not that.
It's when you lose by $5, you feel like I could have. Well, if I just bid 5 more. But here's the thing that really separates from an auction. Let's say you bid 500 and you get it, but the next person bid $299. You don't get it for $300. You don't get the next dollar above the cheapest, the second bid. You bid 500, you pay 500, no matter what the gap is. So you got to be okay with that. And it's per person. So if you say my bid's 500, then if you're traveling with 2, then it's $1,000. All right. So that sounds complicated, but it's not. The important thing is they're going to go to the top category. In this case is owner's penthouse, and they're going to say, who is the highest bid? And boom, that person gets it. And then everybody else goes down. Now, you don't get multiples. So if you win one and you bid on 4, all your other bids are now wiped out. But if you didn't win, then all your others are still in play. So we didn't win penthouse. They moved down. Aft-facing penthouse is probably the second most popular, because people love that rear-facing view because it's so unobstructed. One of the problems that people come into with a balcony when they bid on their own is that they get there not knowing, 1, what deck it was on. So they're under a pool or something like that. And 2, not everything is listed as an obstructed view, because sometimes the view's okay, but directly below you might be the lifeboat.
Right.
And so you go to look down at the water, but you can't see over the lifeboat. But if you look straight out, it's fine. It's not obstructed. And they get very disappointed because they don't understand what the deck plan is. They don't understand what they're looking at. And that's where they could use some assistance. But people love that aft-facing view. There aren't that many on the ship. It has a great view, and it's very rarely obstructed with anything because there aren't any lifeboats back there. And it's just great. So then they come to us. I think it was the next aft-facing penthouse, and we win it. Now, if you were to book this retail. So you went to the booking site, or even came to your travel advisor and you said, I want to book Haven. I don't want to risk it. Just give it to me.
Yeah.
It's going to be about $6,000 a person. So it's about a $12,000 cabin. It comes with a lot, but having experienced it twice
Hmm.
before,
It's worth it.
you think it's worth $12,000.
No, it's worth the bid.
It's worth the bid,
Yeah.
but $12,000, and that's probably
I mean, it may be worth.
if you had $12,000 laying around.
Yeah, I
Sure.
mean, it may be worth it. I would not be okay paying it.
I
Keep saying be okay with what you pay.
Yeah, I wouldn't be
I would
okay.
not be
This
okay
is one of those
paying
things
that.
where when you pay more than you're willing to, that's all you think about on the trip, right?
Right.
You think about how and you judge the entire experience on that amount, and it inevitably is gonna fail. It's not gonna meet your expectations because your expectations were already disappointed because you overpaid. So, we bid it, and our total trip cost was $5,917. This is just a few $100 more than when we booked the standard balcony. We got moved up twice, once in the price, then in the bid. So for less than half the cost, a Haven suite. And Haven, it's just not a bigger room. There's butler service, private pool, 2 hot tubs, private restaurants,
Private bar.
private bars. When you go to the port, you get a little area that has some drinks, and you
Yeah.
get to wait separate from everybody else. You get taken.
And if you say we're in Haven, they're like, oh, well,
The first time we ever got it, we were standing in line.
we didn't know.
We were at, and it was, I'm trying to think what,
San Diego.
yes, it was San Diego. In that port, the check-in was upstairs. So you come in and there's a staircase you go up, which was weird because I'm like, what if you're carrying suitcases? But that's what the way it was. Staircase going upstairs. This might have been their old cruise port because I think they opened a new one. But anyway, there's a person standing on the stairs and they're blocking it, right? And we're standing in line. We don't know what to do yet because
Mhm.
we'd never been in it before. And she just kind of asked, is there anyone who has the whatever time it was, the 1 o'clock time or any Haven? And we said Haven, and she's like, come up here. And she looked at her face, and she
She
kind
ki
of like
she
panicked.
Well, she kinda scolded us. "Why didn't
Right.
you tell us?"
Right. She was
We
kind of
didn't
panicking and
know.
putting the blame on us, like, "You need to come up here right now." And what they do is they get you in that private area, and then eventually someone comes and gets you. When you normally board, you check in. Even, it's fairly quick. We just did Royal Caribbean, it's very quick. You board, you take your carry-on, you walk, and you go in, and then you try and find your room, and you navigate the elevators with everybody else. And if you got on early enough, maybe the elevators are not crowded, but either way, you get to your room. But with Haven, they come and get you. They
Mhm.
carry your stuff to your room. They escort you to the Haven area, which is carded, you can't get into,
Right.
and no one else on the ship but Haven people can get into it. And there's just so much more. They have a concierge that handles everything. If you want specialty dining, they have a reserved seating at all the shows. You get early disembarkation at all the ports. You don't have to wait for the call. You just go down and get off. Early embarkation at the end. You don't have to arrange it. When we're on Royal Caribbean or any cruise ship in a regular cabin, cruising service level is phenomenal.
It is.
It's beyond any other service industry that I've been to. And if you believe that, as I do, and you've never experienced one of these upper VIP areas like Haven, I can't even begin to explain to you. I've just stated that normal cruising is phenomenal. I don't even have words to describe to you what the service in Haven is like.
Yeah.
And it literally ruined us. But once you've done it and then you've done something else, like, you do miss it. But you understand that even regular sailing is just amazing. Every cruise line has a version of this VIP area, but most people will never get close to it. And they won't get close to it because no one's managing their booking. And that's where we actually are going to be able to go out and take that booking and look at it over and over again and take what you think is going to be a really fun trip. It might stay pretty much the same. And you'll know that you got the best price possible because no other breaks happen. When your travel advisor calls you up and says, "Hey, just letting you know that I rebooked your cruise today." And you kind of play with people like that. And they're like, what do you mean you rebooked my cruise? I mean, I've already taken time off and everything. "Oh, you still got the cruise. I just rebooked it and you saved $1,000. I mean, who doesn't want to get those calls?
No.
It's a fun phone call. So we're going to get Haven again. What are you feeling about that?
Oh, I'm excited. To kind of give you an idea about Haven, you said you have a butler. The butler, I mean, he will do anything and everything. In Alaska, in Haven, I think you said something about you like gummy bears. We came back to our room and there was a whole bowl of
They will
gummy
go find you
bears.
any snack you want.
Yeah. I mean, just passing said you like gummy bears, and we came back to a bowl of gummy bears. I mean, no place else is going to do that.
It would
Now, I did feel a little bad. Late night, we kinda hungry, ordered a pizza,
Yeah.
and it was past the time
He's only
that
supposed to work till midnight.
yeah, past the time our butler he had gone back to his room for the night. We ordered the pizza, knocks on the door, it's the butler, and he said, "Nobody comes to deliver anything to for us but
In
him."
his house.
And I felt bad.
But he has an assistant.
He
And
does,
what we thought was that the assistant would be
but bringing
delivering it.
it.
There he was in person.
I mean, they just drop everything to take care of you.
Yeah. So this is where following these tips, like don't paying too early, getting somebody to help manage your booking if you're not comfortable with checking it literally every day.
Yeah.
I'm curious, would you rather save money or experience something like Haven at least once? If you want someone watching your trips like this, that's what we do all the time. Just reach out. We're happy to do those for you. And if you've booked a cruise recently, we can transfer it to us and we can take care of it, or we're happy to book your first cruise or your Haven cruise, whichever it happens to be for you. Stay wonder worthy.